Hey, it's Nay, and welcome back to Nay's Little Garden. Welcome if you're new here. I am Nay, and here we talk about all the things, honestly, homesteading. We're doing a lot of gardening content right now, prepping for the new 2025 year and so on and so forth. But naturally, once you start getting abundance, you have to find ways to use them, and so we will also be discussing those things at some point on this channel, and potentially homesteading period also things. So if any or all of that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm almost at 100 subscribers already, which is amazing. Anyway, today's video, grab a drinky, grab a snack. Yeah, grab you a drinky drink and a snack, because we're gonna be here for a minute. I did get a request for my garden plants. I did try to write it out several times, and I have it right here. Looking at my chicken scratch, it's chicken scratch. So I got the bright idea to go ahead and pick up my handy dandy iPad. Yeah, which is phenomenal, and draw them out in a way that is readable. So we're gonna go through that together. Quick disclaimer though, this is my general idea of what I intend to do. I have 98, maybe 98.9% of everything I need to actually make this happen. So I will tell you what things are still a little wobble wobbly, but for the most part, I intend to do what I'm about to show you, grow what I intend, So, and some things are a little more detailed than others, so I'll keep fleshing them out. But let's just hop, skip, jump right into it. So, Nay's 2025 little garden. The first thing I want to talk about, guys, is I know that a lot of content creators on this lovely YouTube university have a lot of land, and that is 10 out of 10. Love it. You know what else is 10 out of 10? Wherever the heck you live right now. Just start. Seriously. I know it's so annoying, because I used to be so annoyed when I heard that. Like, yeah, it's not that easy. But sometimes it truly is. Little things start growing little something. The first one we're going to talk about right here is these 2 8x4 raised beds. Now, I already have these, and they're already built. The only thing I need is to now fill that with soil. Now, I say only, but that's a lot, because 8x4 is 32 square foot for one 8x4. That is 64 square foot. I am probably looking at 10 to 12 to 14 bags of soil, and I'm talking about the bigger ones. And I feel like that's on the lower end. I'm trying not to give myself panic attacks. I'm actually going to start buying soil just to have it very soon, because I don't want to stress how much that's going to cost later on down the road. And to make it more feasible for you to do things that you actually want to do with the garden, having the stuff on hand and not waiting till last minute is just going to set you up for success. So let's get into it. These 2 raised beds, primary, I'm going to back you up just a pinch so you can really see. Concern for me, or not concern, main character of these is, in fact, if you didn't guess already, onions and garlic. So what I first did, guys, just figure out what you want to grow. And then once you do that, figure out exactly what variety you want to grow of that, and start filling in some squares, I should say. And if you see numbers, right, those numbers are telling you and me how many of each I can plant in 1 square foot. If you don't see any numbers, just know that means 1. I just didn't see the point of putting the 1. I can remember that, right? So I have goals of number of things I'm trying to, like, number of plants I would like to harvest. So for onions, it was around 160, and for garlic, it's around 80. So what does that mean? For onions, that would mean I'd need about 18 square feet. And for garlic, I would need about 20 square feet. because you can plant apparently more onions in 1 square foot than garlic. And I want to make sure that this is something that's clear. I love the square foot gardening method. I find it very useful for a newer gardener such as myself. If you are a newer gardener, hey, hello, what's up? Let's go through this journey together, because it's a little overwhelming. But I want to show you something quite quickly before we continue on. Grab a drink and snack, I forgot to say. This is 1 square foot right here. It's actually a fairly decent size. And when you plant 9 onions, you're not going to get massive bulbs. I find, to be honest with you, it's a waste when I purchase the large onions, because 8 times out of 10, I don't finish off that onion before I feel like it looks nasty and I don't want to use it. If you don't have any qualms with that, I would say to go down a size from 9 to perhaps 4, right? I think the next sizing down would be 4. So do that, and then you'll get bigger onions. But the 9 is working for me. I feel like, honestly, even like maybe 6 would even get you a slightly bigger onions too. But this is what I'm going to go with. So 18 square feet is going to give me about 160. Maybe like I think it's actually like 162. But you get the point. I'm giving you the about guesstimates. And then 20 of the garlic is going to, square foot of garlic is going to give me the 80 garlic. Do I have the garlic? Yes and no. So I already technically planted out some garlic and I kind of just randomly put it in places. Now, I think what I'm going to end up doing, guys, unfortunately, I might see what it's going to do, because I do intend to pick up some more raised beds, but I might not, because I've already planted out basically what I have. Right? So that is something to be determined. I just bought a sleeve of garlic from a local spot near me. Like a local means near me. You know what I mean? A local place. So I technically do have enough to break up to get the little cloves to plant all of this out. And I will be planting this out, I believe, in January. Because those garlic that I planted out, I had no idea what I was doing, and I feel like I have a better idea. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. You feel me? I will also be having a video where I will show you guys, we will go through the whole planting out onion process, because apparently you do need to start onions indoors in January when you live in a growing zone like I do, which is zone 6. It's just a shorter growing zone. It's not a short growing zone, but it's shorter than others. And if you don't want to use up the entire summer growing onions and garlic, growing onions, you start them indoors. And then you keep this ish indoors for like 3 months, 2 months, 2 to 3 months. And then you separate all the seeds and you plant them out, and then you get these lovely onions sometime in June. That's my goal. Anyway, moving on. Acorn squash. The idea I'm going right here is these 2 beds are actually truly next to each other in my garden, and I intend to put a trellis. Now, this can go one of 2 ways. I will buy a literal trellis, but if I find the finances are not financing in the way I need them to finance to do so, this trellis will still happen, because I have a polytunnel that I have no problem, as it starts to warm up, to take apart to use the trellis until I can buy another trellis, because I have the cattle panel. I have a couple cattle panels attaching, so I will make my polytunnel shorter and use one cattle panel to bring it from one side to the next, for all of this and this to grow up it. So let's go to the food stuff first. Acorn squash. The winter squash are fire. When I tell you I've fallen in love with winter squash, you can't tell me nothing. So here I have two of all of these things that's going to grow up the cattle panel. I have acorn squash, sweet dumpling squash. I haven't actually tried this, but it sounds good. I'm obsessed with the butternut squash. I do reserve the right to also potentially grow honey nut because it's around the same thing, just smaller. And here's some watermelon. I did in fact grow watermelon the past grow season. I grew it so late. I'm not being funny. I'm being very serious because I know sometimes, us, content creators like to be like, oh, I could have done this better, and it was more fine. No, I dead grew it very late, and I still harvested I think 3 or 4 watermelon. Go check out my shorts. I showed you guys 1 or 2 of them. They were pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself, and I will be growing more. So, growing it at the proper time, I think I might even be able to do 2 successions of it because I really grew it so late, okay? Over here, I have pumpkin. Now, I only have 2 spots for the pumpkin, but I have 2 different pumpkins I want to grow because the idea is that I will do 2 spots. This is just where my mind went, of 2 square feet of the same exact variety. And I have kind of put myself in a look Garfunkel here because I only have 2 spots, but I have 2 different types of pumpkin, so that's something I have to figure out. But I will either be growing, I have this white cheese pumpkin. It's just a white pumpkin, and then I have the Jack Be Little pumpkins. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna be testy and plant 2 pumpkin seeds here of the Jack Be Little and then 2 pumpkin seeds here of the long cheese, whatever pumpkin, the white pumpkin, and see what happens. Because I'm gonna be quite frank with you. Sometimes it's okay to put things together, but sometimes it's not. So we're gonna figure that out together. I have 2 spaces here for cantaloupe. I also feel like when it comes to pollinating, you just want things similar next to each other and it's more likely to pollinate. I have here the Christmas lima beans. You could plant 9 of these in here. I do have all of this stuff already, so I will be able to plant this stuff out. And loofah. I'm excited. I will not be using the loofah gourd to consume. I will be using it to make loofah to scrub my body, maybe my dishes, so on and so forth. I'm very excited to grow this. Brie Ellis grew, I think she said she put just 2 loofah plants at the back part of her trellis. Like she had like arching trellis and it just took over. I'm down. Honestly, I'm down because these are all gonna come to fruition at different times, okay? So like the beads are gonna definitely be coming to fruition before the butternut squash. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to see how this is going to work. If it works, great. If it feels really just all over the place, I can add stuff to help it grow up other things. You get what I'm saying? And if not, we learn better for the following year. I'm trying to take failures as a growing moment and not a failure. You take the L, but what you really learned was a lesson. Moving on. Bell pepper. It's just a standard bell pepper. And then let's get into some hot-ish. I have 2 square foot for spinach. Now, this is probably going to be 2 different types of spinach because you can put 6 spinach seeds and grow them per square feet. So I'll have 6 seeds of one spinach in 1 square foot and then 6 seeds of another spinach because I have a couple different ones. And then hot-ish right here, subarctic tomato. Now, I will probably have to cage these. I want my ish to grow. I already have if you watched any of my other videos, you would have seen that I already have fertilizer. I'm fertilizing these things like I am trying to grow a baby. You know how you just have to eat enough food when you're pregnant? I'm not playing around with my plants. Over here, I have sweet banana peppers. I'm so excited for those as well. I do have children. I am going to grow a little bit of spicy, as you can see right here. This is serrano pepper that we're about to talk about next. But for the most part, I'm going to try to grow mildly spicy to sweet peppers. The sweet banana pepper, I'm looking forward to. I think it's like a lighter color. So awesome. This is serrano. So it's serrano tapequeño pepper. It's mildly spicy. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a time. For me, And I agree with Jess from Roots and Refuge. I want to grow ish that I would have a little bit more of a difficult time finding in my local store, or the price of it is just ghetto in my local store. It's too high. So I'm excited to grow these things and see how they do. I really only grew bell peppers, last year, and they came out good. The beginning, they were quite small. Come to find out, fertilize. You have to feed your plants. And I'm at the stage where feeding my plants is paramount, but I also want to feed my soil. I might get a worm bin. Don't quote me on that, because worms gross me out, but I might do what I gotta do to get my soil as healthy and as lit as can be. And that is the first 32 square feet, y'all. That was fast, right? No, that was the first 64 square foot, 32 and 32. We're not going to touch on this one down here. We might touch on it last, but I don't actually have this raised bed yet, so we're not going to talk about that. We're going to move on to the next page. This is my next page. I have this one. Okay, this one is coming, but I've already purchased it, and it's literally on my way to my house now. This one I have already on my property, so let's go through this one. These are 2 6-foot beds, but one is 2 square foot this way, and the other one is 3 square foot this way. I will no longer be buying 6x2. I will be buying 6x3, because truthfully, that's fire, and it's just more growing space. These two will also be a trellis between them. They will be next to each other. Let's go through the trellis part first. The queen of the night tomato. I cannot express to you how excited I am to grow this. We are going to keep talking about varieties and what I'm planning to grow, because I'm just so excited. Because yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They are beautiful. Beautiful tomatoes. I have not grown those before, but I am super duper excited, and I cannot wait. Habanada pepper. Now, I've tried to space just to follow me for a second, because this is going to seem all over the place when you're looking at this, and I tried to have a reason here. I tried to space my tomatoes and my peppers from each other, like the varieties of the tomatoes from each other, and the varieties of the peppers away from each other. Now, it is still in one raised bed, so it's really not far. I have a small plot very, very small plot of land. So, but I didn't want to just have a row of peppers, and then it's just kind of like too close. So this is how I did it. So we have 2 Queen of Nights, and then we have 2 habanada peppers. Jess from Roots and Refuge likes her habanada peppers, and her sons apparently would eat that ish like fresh. Maybe dip it in some sauce or something, or salsa or whatever. I want my kids to be doing that. I want my kids to take tomato and take pepper and yum it like people eat candy and bags of chips. Now, am I not gonna let my kids have candy and chips? Of course I'm gonna let them have candy and chips. I just want everything to be at reasonable quantities, and having fresh fruits and fruits that I will preserve, fruits and vegetables. I want to do this. So here we have the habanada pepper. Yes, the brandy wine black tomato is in my garden. Is gonna be in my garden. I'm kind of excited about this. This is a bigger pepper. I think the Queen of Night is like a medium type pepper, where the brandy wine black is a bigger pepper. I cannot express to you how much the ahi mango pepper excites me. I have grow bags, and I might mess around and plant some in grow bags. All of this produce you're seeing, is the odds of my family gonna eat all of this? I'm unsure. I grew 6 to 8 tomato plants last year, this past growing season, and it gave so many tomatoes, and I grew them so late, which means I really felt like they could have grew me more, and they came out with so many tomatoes, y'all. So I will either be giving away some, maybe at a market, selling, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, okay? Because there's different rules, so I'm gonna follow the rules and the laws. I did, in fact, grow the Sun Gold hybrid tomato. That was one of the tomatoes I grew last growing season. Prolific little sucker. Those little golden nuggets of joy. One of my children ate them with me like candy. And a Tabasco pepper. I would like to make hot sauce. And I'm going to try to also make a cowboy candy because I've been buying them from a grocery store right now. Moving on to this. That's one trellis done. Or not one trellis, one raised bed. See how quick that was? That's why I want the 6x3. Moving on. The yellow Dr. Weish's tomato. People gas this tomato to high heaven, including Jess from Roots Refuge. You're gonna hear me reference like Brie Ellis, Jess from Roots Refuge, the Peach Peach Cottage Gardener. Like, there's a couple you're gonna hear me reference throughout my channel a lot because I love them. Like, their channels, they're my favorite. I just love it. They're just great. So yes, Jess from Roots Refuge talks about that tomato a lot, and a couple other people have, and so I will be growing you. We will have a moment. I almost got the mortgage lifter, but I don't want too many massive tomatoes, so this will be one of the bigger tomatoes. The red noodle bean is calling my full government name. I know it sounds so weird to be talking about beans like this, but the image of them, hold on. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts. I'm going to wrap this up after these 2 beds because I know it's a long video, but I want to see if I can find this for you. I have the Baker Creek seed catalog. Y'all, please don't upset me today. This catalog is one of the prettiest things I've seen in forever, but it's also trying my patience because I did not even know the amount of eggplants that exist in the world, and I want to grow all of them. These goji berries, these different teas, we're gonna get into it. I do have a tea bed we'll talk about in the next video, so wait for that. I will be talking about that. Oh my gosh, please, I have to keep moving. I just want to show you what some of these beans. The beans have my heart. Honestly, the beans, the tomato, the pepper, honestly, all of this, the beans, tomatoes, and peppers, I'm going to be honest with you right now, are some of my fave things I'm looking forward to growing. And the varieties, yo, everyone's so creative. And I mean that in a non-funny way. Like, people are really creative with these varieties. Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. Lord, help me. Where is the... Oh my gosh, guys, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. It's taking too long. I really want to show you the beans. Did I pass it already? Why am I in S? Yep, I definitely passed it. Beans should be in the beginning. Yep, here it is. Okay, cabbage, broccoli, bitter, bee balm. Ooh. Okay, here we go. I don't think this is literally the exact variety I have, but it's close enough. What in the ever-loving magical girl is going on here? This is giving Tokyo Mew. No, I'm just kidding. Let me stop. But this is just amazing. Revolutionary Girl, you 10 up. Let me stop. But I'm so excited. So I have 2. I really don't need to grow 2 different ones because each 2 different square foot, because each square foot is gonna have 9. But I just wanted to grow my trellis and drop down like some magical lifestyle. Anyway, moving on. I'm so excited for those. The brown sugar tomato. Mwah. I'm excited about those too. I have 1 thing of navy beans. I really should be growing 2 sections of navy beans instead of 2 sections of red noodle beans. I don't care. I will grow probably some of this also in a grow bag. I'm not really hashing out the grow bags just yet because I want to let this stuff kind of marinate and then really decide this is what I really actually need more of. Here I have kale. I have 3 square foot of kale I'm planting out because, guys, I actually am really starting to love salad. I can't just eat the greens by themselves, though. Does anybody else need to dress up their salad in order to consume it, or is it just me? Because I know that there's people out there who really will just eat just greens and be good. If I just eat the greens and put the barest amount of dressing on it, I'm hungry in an hour and a half. I have too active of a lifestyle, but I love to have a variety of stuff to put in my salad. So here we go. I said all that to say, like, I make my own bread from scratch, and I'm learning how to I made breadcrumbs the other day. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna make my own croutons and stuff. Anyway, back to this. I will probably record that for you guys. I have different sections for my kale here. Did I really need to separate them? Not per se, but the main character, these are the 2 main characters here. So the shishito pepper, guys, I had it for the first time because Jess gasses the shishito pepper. I feel like in Jess we trust from Roots and Refuge. I'm sure you agree because she's fire. She's a lot of the good things in this world. So that is I just had them for the first time in an actual restaurant, and they were good in the restaurant. And I know that they just buy them from a local store. Like, they buy them not even from a local store, they just buy them in the store. This is what they look like. I'll probably be harvesting them green, but they said fruit is emerald green in color, ripening to red, and mildly flavored with just a bit of spice. Now, I am Jamaican American. I'm gonna tell you right now, they were not really spicy to me, but what they were flavorful, and they were like they had like a creamy dip to go with it. It was perfection, and you just kind of blister them. So I think my kids might eat it. If not, I will eat it, and I think my husband will too. I have the purple hull bean right here, and this is another one where I only have one for it, but it's gonna be good. Red kidney bean, I have two here because I was realistic as opposed to not being realistic with the navy bean. I love chili, stews, soups, and I did recently get a book. Oh my gosh, I just made the best beef stew I've ever made in my life. If you've been struggling with tough beef, I got you. I'm coming through with the recipes. Don't you worry. So I'll have 18 plants between these 2 square foot. So it should net me a decent amount of red kidney beans because I want to dehydrate them to save for the fall and winter, for 2025, fall and winter. Unrealistically, I put 1 pinto bean square foot here and have 4 bean plants. I'm gonna keep moving from there. And then I have 2 garbanzo beans, which, okay, but they're 2 separate ones. This is a black version and then the regular version. I love hummus. If you didn't know, which I'm sure you know, but if you didn't know, garbanzo is just chickpeas, guys. They have a black chickpea. Yes, you heard me. So cool. So I had to grow that, and I have to grow the regular ones. So that is my 18 square foot bed. That's all I'm going to talk about. Part 2 is coming right out. I'm about to literally record this right after. So this, like I said, is going to have the trellis right here. Guys, I'm super interested to know what you would be growing. Is there anything here you're interested in? I really could have just messed around and showed you this whole catalog, like of all the things I want in this catalog and the things I have, but I feel like the video would be 3 hours long. Like, you know what I mean? It's giving, like, are you reading a Harry Potter book, or are you just trying to read a regular size book? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this whole video. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye. Oh, and happy holidays.